Hello, Namaskar. So, as promised, we are here before you all. So, the person sitting on my left side, we are keeping social distance or physical distance rather. I personally don't like the term social distancing. So, physically, we are separated by a small strip. And not only that, geographically also, we are separated by several thousands of kilometers. So, the person on screen with me is from another continent. Right now, he is from London, UK, and I'm here very much. I cannot hide my location. I'm from Bangalore. So, some of you viewers must have seen this gentleman with me in the month of June. We have had a session. So, that time also he was in London, but between that time and this time, he happened to be in India for some time. So he had to go through multiple sessions of self quarantine or imposed quarantine when he came to India. And recently, when he moved back to UK, again he had to go through the same process, same thing in slightly different manner, but well settled because he is mentally settled. So physical things doesn't matter much for him. Now, those who missed our previous session between two of us, there is a lot of common things between two of us. And as we proceed with our discussion, you'll come to know about this. But see, I can very well take the name of the person sitting and staring at all of you. But rather than doing that, I will try to do something else for next 2 minutes.
Soumya, that day we were having a session on the topic of unconditional love. Because love is something which the world is looking for, interpersonal love. So I got a nice question and very powerful, pointed question. One person asked me, you talk of unconditional love, but in our workplace, is it possible to show unconditional love?
With your categorization of that kind of a setting and competition as fake love, because it's indeed fake. And I think what competition said, as you said, that everybody is running in the race for promotion. But and there's no problem with it, of course. I mean, why not? People should be visionary, and they should everybody should pursue progress and promotions. But actually what sort of competition does is introduces some sort of loss in that system in a way that, so I'll introduce a physics analogy into this. So let's say that there are two objects which interact in a way that in opposing directions. So that's competition for me, because when you're competing with someone and sort of that nasty sort of competition, you're investing a lot of your cognitive resources into thinking, how do I put that person down? And that much of cognitive resources can be used in thinking about how to put yourself up. And if that person does the same thing, then both of you can sort of work in a collaboration and push each other. So if that becomes a sort of perpetual cycle in which that dynamic in which one person keeps pushing each other, then I think both of them will reach towards a faster promotion, or if not a promotion, they'll make much more progress, and they'll be much happy or rather satisfied with what they are doing at the workplace, because they are leading to productive interactions. Because when you do that competition, you lose out a lot of, you waste a lot of energy as heat, or when things collide with each other, that's a collision in a way. You lose a lot of unproductive energy there. So that's my view.
So viewers, he's Soumya Sharma And some of you who know my name might be surprised to see something else is coming under my name. Actually, today I'm using a different system. So what you are seeing is my nickname. And there is some interesting stories because in North India, this name is a feminine name. There are some interesting stories. I'll not go into this right now. Anyway, Soumya, can you tell us a little bit? And before you start, viewers, just to introduce, Soumya is currently in UK. He is pursuing his higher studies in Imperial College, London. So, rest he will introduce himself about what he is doing, his dream, his vision, and everything in next 1 or 2 minutes. Yeah, Soumya.
1 or 2 minutes is a rather short time. Even lifetimes are not enough to actually describe your dreams and vision. But anyway, I'll try. So right now I'm looking forward to pursuing masters in bioinformatics and systems biology at Imperial College, and basically that's taking and viewing biology at the interface of computer science, uh, mathematics, and sort of engineering systems level perspectives. Because in the past 3 years in my bachelor's in medical biosciences, I have worked a lot in the lab, wet lab. You use your pipettes and work with actual cells. But over time, I've come to realize how sort of the importance of learning computational methods and mathematics to be able to look at biological systems from a very high level perspective, and actually harness the power of computation to understand, for example, cell signaling in cancer cells, for example. So computation and mathematics offer a very, very strong way to understand biological systems, which is why I'm going to now pursue a master's.
Yeah. So you gave us a clear idea. Lot of complex things, complex terminologies you have used, but what we can gather from what you have said just now is you are pursuing your dream, and that is what is important.
True.
Right.
Yeah. Well, dream,
Yeah.
actually, I have
And
a definition of dream, but go ahead.
yeah, no, we'll discuss about dream also.
Yeah.
The synchronization between dream and reality, right? One needs to have real courage to dream.
True.
Yeah.
I agree.
And dreamer and doer, between a dreamer and doer, there is a very thin line actually. Anyway, we'll discuss about this. Today we'll go into our topic, but before we go to that, a little background. Soumya knows about the topic. It is about the caste system. Very important because many things are associated with this. Our
Okay.
understanding or misunderstanding or lack of understanding. This decides many things. Right? Now, somewhere at some point of time, the ruling class, or I would not like to call them as ruling class, the plunderers, looters from a foreign land came to India and they ruled over us. Now, this is irony that right now Soumya is sitting in their country. But anyway, times have changed. He has gone there to get proper education, not to settle over there. He is truly Indian in heart, by heart. So he has gone there to get the best out of them and come back and work for the country. Okay, now I'm sure what I'm saying is right. Yeah, Soumya.
Well, I have slightly differing views in the sense that, first of all, by the way, if somebody really wants to understand what happened through British Raj, I would recommend reading some book by Shashi Tharoor, that he has done a lot of research and all of that. But anyway, that aside, I consider myself a global citizen with Indian values at heart. And for me, basically, by Indian values, I mean I am very well aware of my
Yeah.
Indian heritage, and I don't even need to intentionally think that I will benefit my country, um, that I would want to benefit my country even if I work somewhere else. It's just going to happen, which I'm very sure about. So, so yeah,
I think, Soumya, I'll change to the other system. Some viewers are reporting that I am in total darkness. My face. Okay.
yeah.
Now,
Well,
if I say I'm in total darkness, just I'm shifting to the other. So I have to shift my focus also. I'll take myself off from this.
no, but there's no volume in this. There's no sound output from your side. Sorry, viewers, we are facing some technical issues. Yeah, now
Yeah.
it's
Now,
good.
yeah. Now it is fine.
Yes, now it's okay.
Yeah. So one important thing Soumya said that I am a global citizen. Yes, now in 21st century, yeah, we cannot forget the history, but we cannot live in our history. That what all wrong things happened in the past, right? We have to move forward, taking
Well,
lessons from the past, and we have to move forward, right? We cannot be like so naive to take revenge on those people who did wrong on us, right? So we can pardon them and move forward. And that is the greatness of Indian ethos, right? So today's session is about that only, our Indian values, our Indian system, and our understanding and misunderstanding about caste system. Uh, there is a lot of misunderstanding about this. How and when it started, that is another matter of discussion altogether. So, yeah, Soumya, to start off with, I would like to ask you about your understanding of this caste system in India.
well, so first of all, I'm not an expert in that, but from what I um, understand, there are, uh, I mean, Hindus, Christians, Muslims, and Sikhs,
Yeah,
and many. I mean, those religions have their own sort of divisions within them, and they adhere to certain values of their own. They have different gods,
yeah,
and they just live the way uh, their their religion sort of asks them to. But then not many people are religious, so I don't even think it matters. Uh, well, it does matter, but not. I mean, to some people, religion matters a lot. To some, it does not. So it depends. It's a very large
okay,
sort of question. Yeah.
yeah, okay. So I understood. See, so honestly, you admitted that you don't have much knowledge about this caste system, and that gives me the opportunity to let the viewers know through you. So this can be a session of those kind of sessions that we used to have during our school days. TOK session, right?
Oh,
Discussing reality from confusion to clarity. Yeah.
exactly.
So now you spoke about Christianity, Islam, and Hinduism, this and that. Yeah. So how the foreign invaders came and with what intention they came, what strategy they used. Yeah, one is this conversion, bringing those Abrahamic religion here and converting us. Right? You are aware of this. Right? This is a big issue. Now, uh, how they got the opportunity and what were the loopholes um, which they found to convince people to leave their own cultural heritage, own ancestral heritage, and adopt something new. This is one of the loopholes about the caste system that you must have this knowledge that there are basically four classes. These are Vipra, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, right? So we need to have clarity about this because unless we know about ourselves, others will always have the opportunity to manipulate us if we are ignorant about ourselves. So this session is entirely to know about ourselves, our heritage, how it all started. So it's a big topic actually. One session is not enough, but we need to give a start. So that's why I conceived this, and it's high time. Say you must be knowing about this, all the melodrama that goes on in Parliament about the reservation policy. Uh,
Oh, yes.
Reservation to SC and ST. Yeah, Soumya will not be knowing some of the things because from grade 9 onwards he is doing international curriculum. So he is mostly there. So yeah, so is it going to be exciting, Soumya, to get some clarity about this, right?
Oh,
So
yeah, definitely. And discuss its implications, most importantly.
yes. So just a knowledge sharing session. So as in the promo video it went that we'll have a threadbare discussion on this class division. It is discrimination or distinction, right? Now the way it is propagated in the society by whom, I'll not go into this right now. It has been projected as a sort of discrimination, but which is not the case at all. So in the promo video, I said in the light of Shastra and my Guru Sri Sri Thakur Anukul Chandra, what he told us, he did not tell us anything new. He just brought those things that are there in Shastras in a very simplified form. Okay, so at this point of time, I'll do screen sharing little bit. That is needed, right? Just lecturing won't be enough actually because it will not give clear understanding. Yeah. So yeah, you can see the screen, right?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Yeah, so I go to this Srimad Bhagavad Gita. There, Sri Krishna, Lord Krishna says, Chaturvarnam Maya Srishtam Gunakarma Vibhagasha Tasya Kartaram Mam Vidya Kartaram Abhayam. So the first two lines, Chaturvarnam Maya Srishtam Gunakarma Vibhagasha, he says that according to the work culture, I have divided humanity into four classes. These are four classes, he says, right? I have divided according to their work culture, work habit, and the ability to work. And the next two lines, he says that though I am the initiator of this, but I am beyond all this. Now I'll come to the second and third line, third and fourth line later, but four things he says I have done it. Now what are these four things? So is a say Vipra, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra. Now, if we place them vertically this way, it will give a picture that some one class is higher, one class is lower, right? If we place them vertically, yeah.
Yes, sort of hierarchy. So,
Yes, hierarchy,
mm,
yes. So, and that is the problem. That is the problem. When you look at them as Vipra, as Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, this way, it is quite natural for a layman who would like to be below everyone. So, just a shift of this, rather than keeping them vertical, if we make them horizontal. So, does it bring little relaxation to our mind? That yeah. So these are horizontally placed, no high, low, right? And you can see there are some overlappings also. These are not four isolated classes or isolated castes, right? Some
yeah.
overlapping also. So it's a very complex thing of Indian society. Some mixed classes also, but purely these four classes. Okay, and you must be surprised to see that Brahman word is not coming. So there is no class called Brahman. So I'll come to that. What does Brahman mean? And both of us, we are Sharmajis. We belong to one particular class. Which one it is
Yeah,
out of the four? Yeah,
Brahmins, aren't we?
not Brahmin. Yeah, I'll come to this. Vipra.
All right.
Now,
Okay.
I'll use the word Brahmin later, little later as we proceed, right?
Yeah.
Is it fine? I won't like to describe Brahmin, the word Brahmin right now, but I'll do that a little later. So we belong to the Vipra class, right?
Okay.
We have
I
this
did not know
Janeo.
that.
Yeah,
I did not know that the Vipra thing.
yeah.
I had no
We'll come.
idea.
That's what I started off by
Yeah.
saying that it be a knowledge sharing session.
Yeah.
So these are the four classes. So one thing is settled. See, these are not vertical divisions; these are horizontal divisions, right? Four classes, and they have their unique own work. These are the intelligent class. Okay, now see, here people should not have objection. If this class is intelligent, then does it mean that other castes are dumb? Okay, so let us not make that kind of conclusion. It will be too naive on our part. Kshatriya, ruling class, then Vaishya, mercantile, business class, right? Banya, as you say in Hindi. Then Shudra, labor class, right? Now, these four classes have their own work, okay? And there will be overlapping, of course. Right? Now, somehow, in a very systematic manner, a wrong notion has been propagated in the society for a long time, and now people have this understanding of misunderstanding of high and low, and that is the source of most of the problems. Okay. Now see, this I downloaded from internet directly, but I don't like one particular thing in this. Uh, you can identify that the four divisions shown here. The top left, upper left is Vipra, upper right is Kshatriya. I have little objection to that representation, and lower left is merchantship, Vaishya, and lower right is Shudra. Now, this one I have objection like Kshatriya is shown as warrior class, but I don't like that. That was not the essence actually. So I'd like to replace this by ruling class, right? Not warriors, rather rulers. Fine. And Soumya, feel free to come in anytime, right? So let it
Yeah,
not be
I
taken
have
away.
something to say about this. So
Yeah,
I think that all of this started really with not the kind of intention that that has manifested itself into now into reality.
yes,
Probably what would have happened is that
yeah,
in the society we humans are social beings. We look for groups. We like to talk to other people and befriend those who share our interests, etc. And therefore
yeah,
probably it's more likely that I would befriend a farmer if I'm a farmer
yeah,
because we both share our interests. So I think all of this started in that way by, as I said, sort of forming groups and cliques and etc. Uh, However, I think we humans have this strong notion of trying to categorize everything. We are naturally very pattern seeking animals.
yeah,
So somehow over hundreds of years, this thing just lent itself into, okay, if you're a son of a farmer, you're also a farmer, and then boom, you're into that class, and
yeah.
so on and so forth. Um, so I think this all of this must have started in this way. But personally, I'm a big believer in individualism. I'm an individualist, and that's why I don't identify myself with being in a particular group of something. Yes, maybe my ancestors did, but I don't. I believe that an individual is self-sufficient and he or she has his own capabilities given that he or she was allowed to discover them and explore him or herself, and one should take that path.
Okay. Now, do you find any scientific basis behind this kind of division?
Yes, actually, so as I said before, that humans generally, we like those who share a bit with us, and we feel comfortable in proximity of those who are a bit like us, who look like us, who talk to us like us, who talk to us like us.
Okay.
Um, and that is in itself a very relevant psychological point. So that's your psychology telling you to like someone. So that's scientific basis. And then uh, Yeah. So
I was asking about something much deeper than psychology. Uh, Anything relating to science of genetics and so. I'll ask you one small question, like between a mango and an apple, which is uh, which is the fruit of higher value? If I ask you such a question, I don't think I have asked a very intelligent question to you. But anyway, between a mango and an apple, which has higher value? Give your honest answer. What you think?
I think
Is the
it's mango because
very
it's seasonal.
question? Yeah.
Mango because it's seasonal.
Okay. Oh, that way, that way. Okay, but
Yeah, you only get it for a particular time.
yeah. So
Apple.
otherwise,
No,
mango is mango, the best fruit in its own right. Apple is also best fruit in its own right. A mango cannot become an apple. Apple cannot become a mango, right?
true.
A
True. I
mango
mean,
can be.
both are fruits in a sense. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Both have their own role to play, right? So to compare and categorize between mango and apple, okay, I may like one fruit more than the other, but that doesn't change the innate quality of the fruit, right? So both are needed. So just think of the world. If all the fruits become mango, how will the world be?
Yeah. It's
Will go
does
crazy. Will
sense.
go crazy, right?
Yeah.
So we need variety. Now, certain varieties we create artificially, but certain varieties are uh, part of creation. And we identified those varieties. Our old sages, ancient sages, they whom we call as rishis, they identified those natural varieties. In deep contemplation, they realized all those things, and thus the divisions were made. Okay, now talking about these four classes, about high and low, that is destroyed by placing them horizontally, right? And I think I could do that with some amount of success. The moment you place them horizontally, there will be some amount of relief. Okay, now think of a car. My guru, my Thakur says something here. It is not so clear. In Bangla, he says, and in Hindi also. In Hindi, I can read. You will not be able to read it because it is not so clear. It is little hazy. He says, शूद्र ही तो जाति की पहिया, वैश्य संभाले देश का रुपया, क्षत्रिय होते राजा की जात, सभी के पुराण ही है विप्रधात. Okay, the essence of it in English is just the essence of it is Shudra is like the will, Vaishya is for economic drive, Kshatriya is of the admin class. To fulfill all is the Vipra mass. So, see, when it starts with will, it brings to our mind of a car. Now, if I think of a car or talk of a car, okay, no sound it is making, Uh, okay, so to run a car successfully, what are the requirements? Yeah, Soumya.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you. There's some
No,
internet
to
connection.
run a car, what are the basic requirements? Yeah, we need to have a car, but after having a car, what are the requirements?
A driver.
A driver. Well done. A driver. Yes. Uh, a driver. Yes. Then
Yeah, a driver who has the will to drive
yes. Anybody
and
else?
accelerate the car, know how to change gears
And that is the
properly.
system of the car. Yeah.
Yeah, start
Any
the car.
other human presence?
Ig- Ignition.
No, these are part of the mechanism. Any other human presence? I mean, driver will be a human being, unless the driver is a robot. Human presence.
Passenger
Uh,
if there's someone else too.
Say, how about this? The driver may not have sufficient cash to fill in fuel, right? So someone, financier, right?
Right. Okay.
Then, see, driver may not have sufficient knowledge of the mechanics of the vehicle. If it breaks down somewhere, but driver will have some knowledge, but not that much. So a mechanic, if a mechanic also joins, it will be great, right?
True.
Yeah. And any fourth person is needed, or these three are enough.
Passenger. There should be
Yeah,
somebody to actually to get to the car.
somebody.
Somebody to actually get onto the car.
You feel
Passenger.
there is need for a fourth person also?
Yeah, a passenger. I mean, if the driver is driving himself, then you don't. But I mean, there are four
Yeah.
spaces in the car, so probably
Okay.
someone can
Okay. Just to fill
sit
the
on
four
the car.
spaces, but I feel that there is requirement for a fourth person also, not just to fill the place.
Oh,
This.
oh yes, fantastic.
Yeah, in
Okay.
Formula One race also, right? There will be a navigator who will sit by the side and navigate. Now, just try to connect this with the four classes. If we look at driver as a Kshatriya, like a king, he is driving, he or she. Then financier will belong to which category? You can make one-to-one association, right?
Yeah, the merchant category, right,
That's Vaishya. Very nice. Yeah. And mechanic,
will be
Shudra, labor class, right?
right.
Who can work hands-on? Who can
Yeah.
work hands-on? Others will have theoretical knowledge, but the Shudra will have practical knowledge. Practically, he can implement all the theory, right? So Shudra
Yes.
can transform POK to POK, theory of knowledge to practicality of knowledge.
Yeah.
And that's why my guru said that Shudra is the what? The will.
The the wheel was
Yeah,
it?
will,
Yeah.
yeah. To run
Yeah.
the society, Shudra
Yeah.
is the basic requirement actually, because others will make theories, develop knowledge, but to put the knowledge into practice, it is the work of Shudra, right?
Right. Okay.
And navigator is the one who will show the way,
Vipra. Yeah.
Shudra. So does it sound good? A proper association, one-to-one correspondence. Yeah?
Yes.
Yes. So a Vipra who will lead the society. Now, at this point, I can think of this person from history. You know about Chanakya, right? Chanakya and Chandragupta. Now, Chanakya was the king maker. He never became king himself. He made Chandragupta as the king because Chandragupta belonged to this class, Kshatriya, and Chanakya belonged to Vipra class. Right? So he never became king himself because that was not in his blood. Right? He was
Right.
kingmaker. Okay. Uh, Now, I don't know. Yes. Now, see, my guru says this, right? A Vipra has to study all this. It is not either or. A Vipra needs to ex- gain expertise in physics, chemistry, mathematics, biology, genetics, art, literature, culture, psychology, medicine, philosophy, theology, and it is not exhaustive. Few more things, deep study in all. It is not the sum of this. And thorough theoretical and practical knowledge of all these subjects. Thorough theoretical and practical knowledge. So, how much I can do, how many of this I can become expert in, will determine what level of Vipra I am. Right. Now, for Kshatriya, politics, history, administrative affairs, diplomacy, defense, law, publicity, and propaganda. You know about propaganda, right? In Hitler's regime, this Goebbels was the propaganda minister. That is also important, right? And propaganda word is not a new word, very effective word these days. In social media, a lot of propaganda happens, right? Yeah, one person will send post one thing, another person will post something totally different, right? It
Mm,
makes life so difficult for us, so confusing. So in all aspects, both theoretical and practical, military science and all, right? Now, Vaishya, naturally, agriculture, industry, economics, engineering and technology, crafts, commerce, trade, transport, accountancy, audit, irrigation, fertilizer production, geography, botany, nurture. See, botany has come here for Vaishya, and physics, chemistry, mathematics for Vipra. And
interesting.
Shudra, the will of the society, to help all the other varnas to practically implement the knowledge that they acquire in their respective fields. So they have to practically implement. Others will remain mostly in theoretical level. Got my point? They
Right.
will generate the knowledge production, as we talk about knowledge production in TOK classes, right? Theory of knowledge classes. So they will produce knowledge, and they see here it is not that Vipra is kept as a separate, only Vipra is knowledge producer. No, Vipra, Kshatriya, Vaishya are knowledge producers, and implementation is to be done by Shudras. So this was how it was made when Lord Krishna said, Chaturvarnam Maya Srishtam Guna Karma Vivagasha. So simple and so practical thing. But somewhere, because of our ignorance, other people took the advantage and they put it this way. It is class division, all those nonsense words they brought, that Dalit, this and that, right? But anyway, things will change, come back to original. It will take little time. So yeah, that's all. Now, coming to the word Brahman, you said, right? You never knew that you are not Brahman. I am also not Brahman. Now, what is Brahman? Now, about Brahman, our Shastra says it very clearly Brahma Janati Sho Brahman. Now, I don't know. You have understanding of Sanskrit?
A bit, maybe.
Yeah. So,
Right.
Brahma Janati So Brahman.
Yeah,
In Hindi,
Brahmachari.
who
The
knows the Brahman? Who knows the Brahman means who knows the origin of it all is a Brahman. Right.
right.
Now, say in this diagram, humanity is divided into four classes. Okay, it is not only for people of Indian origin, it is for humanity. Right? In every society, every country, they have in their own way caste or class division with different names. But in Indian system, it is so scientific and so clearly documented and written rather. So say humanity into four classes. Now, if we just shift the arrows, shifting the arrows means all the four burners are trying to reach to the origin of humanity. So,
Yes.
and can it be that one varna? These are called varnas, right? Varnas. Caste in Sanskrit it is called varna, and every word is not translatable into English. Now, can it be that one varna has preference over another varna when they make this reverse journey? Is it possible?
Not at all.
Cannot. No, not at all. It cannot be, right? So
Uh,
all have equal opportunity, equal chance, no hurdle anywhere, right? So
No.
whoever can know to what extent can become Brahman.
Oh,
Brahma
wow.
Janati Shiv Brahman.
Right.
Got the point?
All the same. Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
So loosely we use this term that Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. No, Brahman is not at all there.
Oh.
Vipra, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra.
Yeah, and I
And
think rather than us classifying these
yeah,
as groups of individual,
yeah,
it would be far more ideal if we think about this whole slide as one individual.
yeah,
And that's what, as you said, Brahman.
yeah.
Because you need a bit of all these varnas within you to be able
Yes,
to reach a particular position, to be that perfect Brahman, so to say, in this context.
yes. You are
So
right. Yeah.
So
Go ahead.
yeah, I mean, maybe they did have all of this. Probably they did have all of this in the past, but through evolution and the kind of modern society we
Yes,
live in, uh,
yes,
we should have the perfect balance of
yes.
all these four varnas to get to where we want.
Yes. And what you said, if I can just add little more to this, is what you said essentially meant this that Vipra, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, these are not exclusive classes. If I belong to
Exactly.
Vipra class, it doesn't mean that I'll not have qualities of the other three classes, right?
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
if I am a Vipra class, means born in a Vipra family, my father was a Vipra, his father was a Vipra, so that way I belong to that class. So genetically, I will have that kind of trait more than the other traits, right? Quite logical it is. But it doesn't mean that I'll have only these traits. I'll have the other traits also, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it so happens, say, in a family of say 4 or 5 children, all the children are not alike, right?
Exactly.
So and that is
Even
quite quite
even the
natural.
biological twins aren't alike, by the way.
Yes, biological twins are also not alike. because
And
equality is a vague idea. Yes, equality is a vague idea, and the way the society is running now, guided by the misguided ones. I'll repeat, guided by the misguided ones who themselves are not guided properly. They are guiding the society, and they are trying to bring equality. Now equality is a vague idea, right? As I took this example, a mango and apple, you cannot equate this to, right?
it's not.
Both are equally good, right? Both have their own purpose of being created, right? So that applies to human society also, human beings also. So we are trying to break everything without knowing what we are trying to break. So how painful and how unfortunate it is. We are trying to break this system, a great system, without knowing what was the essence, right? Now this 25 fourth, not 24th, 21st generation, yeah. My number sense is little quick. So 21st generation youth need to understand. A lot of work is happening all over the world uh, by the Indians. And the unfortunate thing is, here I'll take this word, P word, which is very common in IB, plagiarism. Now, say, it is very painful for Indians in particular that in Western country, like they randomly use this plagiarism. Plagiarism means, viewers, those of you who are not aware of this term, it means, say, you have some creative piece of work. I take part of your work, reference, some help from your work, and I publish it in my name without giving any
You
credit to. So that is
exactly.
what is called plagiarism. It is a serious offense, and it is inhuman also, right?
Yeah, it doesn't
Now,
make sense. It's just, I mean, one should be really mad to not be able to realize that it's
yes,
just not proper. I mean,
yeah,
you're not.
it's not proper. It's not proper.
Yeah,
It's not.
doesn't make sense. Yeah,
It's not
why do
civilized.
I? Yeah,
It's not a civilized act. Also, uncivilized act. Yeah.
yeah,
Now,
exactly.
uh, but what is happening in West? Okay, now that is going to be a another session altogether about the plagiarism. What kind of double standard is there? How many things they have taken, the West, especially the Europeans, uh, how many things of Indian origin without giving any credit. Any credit. I have full anecdote of that, so I cannot discuss in this session because in that case we'll be debating from our session. Uh, so there they don't use the word plagiarism. And India, being the country the way it is, never ask for any credit. But it is so uncivilized on their part also. Okay. Now we talk think big. We think big about think. By the way, think big is the logo of my channel. We think big about this person from Germany, Max Muller, that he came and he studied Sanskrit. Yeah, all that is fine, and he translated Bhagavad Gita and many other texts from Sanskrit to German language. Yeah, that is fine. That was his greatness. But so many things he never gave credit to Indians. So that is another topic altogether. How
Yeah.
Germans claim that they are the real Aryans and what logic they put forth, and they undermine in a very systematic way that Indians are not the actual Aryans. The Vedas are uh, literature of their language, their origin. So that those sessions I'll have in coming time, one after another. We need to have clarity, right? Because
True.
we cannot
Although
discuss.
I'm
Yeah,
Yes, and I'm not an expert by any means on these topics at all.
yeah.
But what you're referring to, does that still happen these days, or was it the thing in 90s or during the British
No,
Raj or all of that?
no. It is happening on a day-to-day basis. I'll just take off the uh, thing. Yeah, we have come back. For a change, let us reduce our size, huh? Because this think big is looking good. Huh?
Yeah, it looks good.
So I'll still look at the other camera. So yeah, the question which you asked, are these things happening now or yeah, that was your question, right? Yeah, these are happening on a day-to-day basis, and you are in the field of academics. You can do some studies. Just keep yourself aware, right, of what is happening. And I spoke to you about this person, Mr. Lakhani. I think soon you'll try to connect with them. And Mr. Lakani and people like him, there are a few others who are working really hard to bring back those things and to uh, destroy all the Western conspiracy. Uh, there is no better term which I can use. Right? So this present generation Indians and mostly the Indians with global perspective like you, as you while introducing yourself, you said uh, you are a global citizen. Yeah, that's what we need. And these great ideas came from us, right? Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. We look at the whole world as our family. But the unfortunate thing is the world outside doesn't look at us as their family. Right? So this is there in the history, right? So
Yeah.
if I consider you as my family, I cannot go to your place. You are in Nagpur and steal your things, right? And
True.
come back and decorate my sitting room with that. Can I do that?
Yeah, it's uncivil.
So if I do that, then I am just a thief, nothing more, nothing less, right?
True. Yeah.
Right. And that is what has happened. Uh, and you spoke about Shashi Tharoor. Now, Mr. Shashi Tharoor, the way he destroyed those Britishers in the Oxford Union debate, which became not just viral, super viral. Do you get
I
my
mean,
point? What
yeah,
I'm
I mean,
referring to?
no,
Yeah,
he just presented facts, and it's like, okay, yeah, I mean, this is what happened.
yeah.
So,
And then he said, what? Just a sorry from them. That is what he demanded, right? India is not expecting to get back in monetary terms how much it lost during the British era. Just a simple civil way of saying sorry that our ancestors did wrong to India, and not only India, to many other countries. But anyway, now
yeah, and
India is showing its
I
power,
absolutely, the
coming
way,
up as a global leader. And in this venture of becoming a global leader, we young Indians have to become the not vanguard. Yeah. So we are
right,
on. So Soumya will end it shortly in 1 or 2 minutes.
right.
Now, have you got little clarity about this? As I started by saying that one session is not enough to get a total picture of Varna system, caste division. But have you got little clarity about things?
Oh yes, I mean, from what I could realize is that you have to be a little bit of everything to be somebody whom you want to be. And I mean, I could appreciate that. Yes, atrocities were committed in the past. However, it's been probably a long time since then, and I'm a part of the generation that hasn't, of course, seen any of it. And I think not just Indians of my generation, but the whole world. I mean, I'm here in London, and the way I'm received by everyone, all the students from all nationalities, it's fantastic, and I feel extremely welcomed. So, yes, there were horrible things that happened in the past, and probably things need to occur to fix that, or I don't know, to in some way to in a way fix that. But our generation, I feel very hopeful about it. My generation, I mean, I feel very hopeful because we are all welcoming, we are very open-minded, mostly, and yeah.
Yeah. So I am also hopeful. It is not just for the sake of saying that let's hope for the best. We
Course,
say
you have to
this
do things.
great
Yeah,
hope and conviction, not just hope,
absolutely.
conviction. If we feel that there needs to be some changes, then who will bring the change? Every
Exactly.
individual has to bring, right? And
Exactly.
before bringing a change, we need to be aware of things, right? That's what I said a little while ago, right? We have been breaking something without knowing what we are breaking, right?
True.
The
And
value of knowledge base we were breaking ourselves. So nobody to blame than to ourselves, right?
Yeah.
That we
And
need,
also,
yeah,
absolutely. And also, one probably, arguably, I suppose the best way to do this is by being the best version of yourself you can be, no matter where you are. Once you're that, once you've got your convictions and your value system, and you want to get there, in that process, not only you'll benefit yourself, but the whole world. So, yeah,
yeah, wonderfully said. Put like to become a become the best version of yourself. Like a mango becoming a best mango, apple becoming best apple, right?
exactly.
So we have to, in essence, what it means is we need to get connected to ourselves. And when I say I
Exactly.
connect to myself, means naturally I connect to my ancestry, my heritage, my culture, my nation, right? And this is not in any way displaying my meanness that I'm bounded by geographical location. Yeah, that is also a reality, right? Nation first when we say. So we cannot break the geographical boundaries and make the whole world as one nation. That is not possible and that is not advisable also, right? That is needed.
Yeah,
Different groups, geographical groups. But
yeah,
cultural groups also are needed. So our cultural heritage and rich ancient wisdom, we need to get be aware of that, and then only we can bring about the change in the world. And for bringing change, we don't need to strive very hard. If every individual is transformed, then naturally that transformation will percolate to others or spread to others, right? So transformation happens that way. So what is important
yeah.
is every individual, right? Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes, and
So
also I think especially the Bhagavad Gita, its main
yeah,
emphasis.
yeah, yes,
Sorry,
yeah.
so
No, I will
especially
stop now. A thumb rule of our channel, I have set it now recently that whenever any guest comes on my channel, the concluding remark is made by the guest, not by me, right?
well,
So
sure. So let's
today,
conclude it.
this is the time. This is the time now for you. Yeah. Thank you very much
Right.
for
So
being my guest today. Yeah. Your
pleasure
version now.
talking. Yes. So uh, we have talked about Bhagavad Gita today, and we talked about Indian values and heritage, and the likes. And I think Bhagavad Gita, its real emphasis is on action, because, as you said, thinking and doing are two very different things. So, absolutely, it's important to think about your values and sort of contemplate them in your mind. However, if you are confident enough in yourself and your values, just act according to them, and you will subconsciously make you, your country, and the world better off. Uh, yeah.